Welcome back to the MBH podcast, Money Buys Happiness, season 5. Before we get into it, we just hit 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. Shout out the fucking fam. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Keep subscribing, keep liking, doing the duties. You know what the
commenting
fuck it
too.
is.
I see the comments now. I like that. They're giving us some.
A couple fucking comments doesn't hurt anybody.
Doesn't hurt nobody. Doesn't hurt. You're already watching it.
So, anyways, appreciate you guys. But fucking, I'm gonna go ahead and say legendary guest today, Mike Rapp. What's up, bro? How are you, man?
I'm good, boys. Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna call you a superhero.
Yeah, give it to him.
It's a fucking superhero, bro.
Listen, for anybody who doesn't know, Mike is the police officer who went viral very recently for a post that he put out about his resignation from the Toronto Police Force. Am I correct?
York.
Yeah,
just north.
So, yeah, listen, before I start talking as if it's me, maybe a little bit of background on yourself, how long you were with the force, the whole thing, and we can get into it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys.
No worries.
Yeah, I left in my 17th year.
Damn.
Started back in 2005. Was with York the whole time. Always wanted to be a cop. My dad was a cop. That's just all I ever wanted to do for some reason.
Yeah.
Even ahead of like playing hockey, if I was even good enough, I wanted to be a cop more for some fucking reason.
Wow.
Yeah, so had a fun career. Ended sort of weird. Married to my wife Jen. She's a nurse for now. And got a couple kids. Daughter Riley, she's 6, and my son Blake, who's 4. And
awesome.
I'm trying to navigate through this fucked up time.
Yeah, to say the least.
100%. I originally saw you obviously off the viral post.
Yeah.
You put quite a message. It was quite a caption. Very deep, very intense, but inspiring at the same time. What was the lead up like? When did you first start thinking that this is more about the vision, let's say, than anything else? Or if you think that.
Yeah, I didn't. The actual post itself, I just wanted to. Even like my circle, I don't like. It's not that big.
Yeah.
Where it went, I didn't think that was going to happen. I've been screaming from the rooftops for at least a year.
Wow.
Maybe more. Like my wife and I are very vocal within our friends and within our social media, which is pretty much nothing. A few hundred people, right? Yeah. I don't know that many people.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, I just felt that people that I care about in my crowd, our circle, just need to fucking wake up.
Yeah.
If I can wake up a few people, that was it.
When did that mindset kick in? Like, did something happen? I guess throughout the past 2 years, was there a certain incident, or when did you start thinking about this?
I knew that things weren't adding up probably mid 2020, right? Yeah, when did this start?
Yeah.
The first lockdown was March?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so there's the lockdown. We're obviously being careful at first because Jen's going to the hospital and I got to go to work, right? And if it's as bad as they're saying, then like fuck, one of the two of us might die.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so we take it seriously at first, right?
For sure.
But then after a while, you're just, especially like I'm fortunate to have at least my wife. She's honest as what she's seeing at the hospital, right? So she went from coming home from work, taking her scrubs off in the garage because she might have this fucking thing on her, right? And the kids, as soon as the door opens, they run and they hug her, right? So she's taking her scrubs off in the garage, running upstairs, having a shower, and coming down saying, "Oh, I'm home," right? To wash off this evil thing, right? But you go from that to what she's seeing in the hospital is not at all what they're saying on the news, and then I'm not seeing anything crazy at my work, right? At this time, I was on the road, just patrol, like going to 911 calls and whatever.
Yeah.
No one's dropping dead anywhere, right?
No
like,
one's seeing it,
you know, and I should say, like, fuck yeah, some people died, right? People who were sick.
Course,
That's sad. Okay, but maybe I'm numb to it all. Like, I saw a lot of people die from a lot of fucked up things.
Yeah.
It just wasn't adding up, right? So you just start looking. You're like, fuck, okay, well, why are you saying this in the news, right? Like Christine Elliott, she'd fucking say, hospitals are full. Roman Baber, go at her, like right on the floor. He'd be like, the hospitals are saying this. Like, what's going on? She'd be like, no, I guarantee you they're full. Right? And I'm like, fuck, babe, is the hospital full, right?
Yeah.
So she works at the hospital that Christine Elliott, that's her riding.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm like, fuck, babe, check.
So it's direct.
So she checks. 280 empty beds.
What?
As opposed to what they're saying.
Right?
Yeah.
No, they're full, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then she checks with an ICU nurse she works with, right? Or knows. Hey, what's it like down there? No, it's not at all what she's saying. Right? So you just start to think, you're
crazy.
like, okay, what the fuck? Why is this happening? Right?
Yeah.
It's just this, and then you see these fucking videos of like coppers ripping kids off of like rinks and
I saw that.
I think it was an OPP went up north.
It was a rink, someone was skating.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. At one point, nothing was adding up, and my biggest thing right off the bat, we're fortunate enough, we're guaranteed income unless you do something really fucking stupid, right? Yeah. Or you leave a job, right? But you know, like you start seeing essential service or essential worker, or you have people being sent home and they can't fucking work and provide for their family. It just seemed dirty. The whole essential worker thing,
that label,
it seemed dirty, and we got the benefit of getting paid. We never stopped getting paid, right? But at the same time, you're like, fuck, what about all these other people, right? They can't work. They're gonna lose their homes. 100%. After my shit went viral, the messages I've read are so sad.
So sad, man.
So
crazy.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Right? Like deep. You think my post was deep? I fucking read stuff and it makes me fucking want to blow my eyes out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's so you start seeing things and.
So you had like the perspective of being a police officer and then your wife on the front line. So like you had a pretty like intense, I'd say like intimate relationship with what was going on between the news and what's happening in real life. What was the message being pushed to you, let's say, from your higher ups in the police force at that time, let's say?
You know what? It was at the start, it was be careful. We didn't even have to wear masks at first. Right?
Yeah.
So when everyone thought that it was like 30% of people were going to die, no one was wearing masks. Right? Everyone was getting along. Right? None of this shit was on the news. Right? Where they got to divide us all, right?
Of course.
Which I hate. So everyone's getting along still. No one's wearing masks. Yeah, you social distance, whatever. I think the only time I ever had to wear a mask was in someone's house. And even then, like, they didn't mandate masks in stores and shit till far into it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were fortunate to have the perspective, like, at least, you know, what Jen saw in the hospital, what I was seeing at work. You know, what I did see was a shit ton of drug addicts, like, or like a spike in drug calls or overdoses.
Yeah.
Right? Crazy amount of drug calls.
It's insane.
Overdoses. What else do people have nothing else to do? So
you guys are there. Okay, so your uppers aren't really pushing too much on you. They're just saying be careful, whatever, right? Like, at what point do they mandate the vax? Because I know that, or at least maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. Initially, the police force wasn't going to go ahead with it.
No.
And then when did that switch up?
I think all the vax talk. I remember good old Dougie Ford. I remember he was against it, right? He's like, no, we're not going to do this. Yeah. It's this whole fucking last 2 years has been a blur. But I remember everyone's like, no, we're not going to do it. Everyone's saying we're not going to do it. Even like down in the South in the States, even the Democrats were like, yeah, we're not going to do it. And then all of a sudden everyone was. I can't remember when it was. And you know what? I wasn't and you know what's fucking hilarious now? Anti-vaxxers are everyone that they've had all the vaccines except for this one. You're now the fucking anti-vaxxer, right? Yeah. So like, I didn't really start thinking this is fucked until they're like, you will take this.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Where are we? Where are we living?
Yeah.
Where, and Jen considered it until they were like, here's your appointment. I remember, I'll never forget. She's like, they set her appointment for her.
Wow.
To take it. Yeah. They're like, you're going, this is your time. She said, whoa. Right? What? Time out. Right? Okay. So she wasn't even against it or even for it or whatever. It's just, well, let's fucking figure out what's going on first.
Yeah. Just pondering the idea, I guess.
Yeah. So for her, I remember they booked it. She's like, nope, I'm not doing that. Right. And then it becomes so pushy that you're like, why are you being so pushy?
Yeah.
Right.
This is weird.
That's where they fucked up big, I think, when you just keep pushing. That's a lot of people are kind of just skeptical based on that alone.
Yeah. And well, now, like, not a fucking chance ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck
like, you fucked this up so bad over the last 2 years that not a chance.
Good luck.
Right? I think you're all liars and I don't trust you. Yeah. Right?
Was there people, let's say, around you working with you that shared the same message?
There's a ton.
Yeah?
There's a ton.
Damn.
There's so many. It's just, they're providing over everyone's head.
Yeah.
Right. And this is actually one of the biggest things I think that people should see is cops are regular fucking people.
Yeah.
They just they do crazy things, or you go to work and you see crazy things, and crazy things are asked of you. You may have to do something. You may have to shoot somebody. You may get shot. You may never come home.
Yeah.
Right. But they're just fucking regular people. When you take all that shit off and go home,
you're regular.
Honestly, just regular people. So there's so many people that expect, I think, cops as a whole to stand up and say, no, fuck you, Doug.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Justin. We're not doing this. You're asking a lot of just regular people, right?
100%. Right? You got kids at home. You got mortgages, bills to pay, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm still working if Jen and I don't fucking strike gold and like miraculously become real estate agents in 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. And we just decided that last year because we invested. It was just shit luck that we can continue taking this stance, continue being vocal as long as we can.
Yeah.
And still provide. But there's so many cops that think this.
Yeah.
There's some who are afraid. I've had conversations with some coppers who are afraid of this.
I believe it.
Cool. I don't have to be afraid of it because you're afraid of it.
100%.
Right. And
which is a common theme right now. Like, I'm afraid, you got to be afraid.
Yeah. Right. Or what? It's just, it's so fucked.
It's a lot.
This whole thing's crazy.
Did you find there's like any division? Like, was this vaccine mandate starting to create division within like the force? Like,
I've heard, you know what? Not really. I've never really heard anything to my face or seen it.
Yeah.
But I've heard some pretty fucking disgusting things.
I believe that.
From people, like being said by a couple supervisors. I've heard some pretty fucked up things, but I think for the most part, everyone thinks this is insane.
Yeah.
But they're afraid to say anything, right? You can't. The second you say you speak out and they see your patch, and then you just get PSA'd. So Police Service Act charges, they'll charge you under that. They'll demote you. They'll suspend, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll just say that you've basically discredited the department, right? So to speak out against this, especially, it's tough, man. Like, unless if that's your line and you've decided that's your line, I decided I knew where my line was.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky I was able to walk away.
100%.
Right? But there are a lot of guys and girls that think this is completely fucked.
Well, you know what? Speaking of, obviously, when you went viral, and then when Six Buzz posted you, I think that was pretty much just like shit blew up. Probably your phone was probably going crazy.
Yeah.
That was where I had seen it being shared a few times, your post, but then Six Buzz posted it. I'm an avid Six Buzz commenter.
Commenter.
That's it. Hey,
doesn't even
commenter.
like the post.
I don't even like the post. Just comment them. So I went in and I commented like a true Canadian hero. I commented a couple times.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Oh, no problem, man. No, because I respect you.
Get the algorithm
what you've done is fucking like, you deserve it. Like that praise. So when I put these comments out, a lot of what people were saying was a lot of people were like totally on your side and like good on him, like sticking to his guns. And other people were saying, oh, I don't think he should have quit. He should have tried to stay there and fight. But my question to you is, now that you're sitting here, is really what fight could you have what fight could you have put up had you stayed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was there anything else you could do? Like in my eyes, and I'm looking at the way that all these businesses and the school boards and stuff are making it mandatory. Like, really, what could you have done had you stayed? Like,
you could try to still fight the fight. Like, you know what? I'm actually glad you asked. For instance, what's her face? Krista Ford's husband. Dave Haynes, right?
Yes.
So it's good. We need people to stay and fight, because if everyone who say you think like I do and you think this horse shit, if everyone just quit, we're fucked. There's no cops left.
Well,
right. So I think it's important. Like, it's a good point. Whoever made that on Six Buzz or whatever.
Yeah, surprising.
It's honestly, it's a good point, because everyone just can't leave. Every nurse just can't say fuck you, I'm out, or 100%. Paramedic or firefighter. And there's a lot. Thousands of messages. I haven't even answered them all yet. Yeah. It's insane how many frontline workers think this way, and if they all left, they're complete chaos. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we do need people to stay. I've had a couple of young kids. Fuck young kids. I'm old as fuck now. Like teenagers, 20s. They're like, I saw your post. I'm reconsidering this career now, and I'm like, whoa, time out.
Yeah. See, that's fucked up. Yeah.
Time out. So I've had to put out a couple fires, and I. So part of my post, it's almost a negative part of my post, where some people might read into it and think, oh, I shouldn't be a cop now because Mike might quit.
Yeah.
Right. No, man, that's my story's different than yours. We still need good cops. We still need, fuck, man. If you play sports, you're a good team player. You got a good fucking head on your shoulders. We need you. and we need you to speak up too. Like, you can't just come in and be a mute.
Yes.
Right? Do they like that now? They do.
Of course.
They love it.
Yeah, they want you to come in, shut up.
Like when I resigned, I guarantee you there was a few people up top in command who were like, fucking right.
Yeah.
Mike's gone. Thank God.
Also,
right?
like you don't have a fighter anymore.
No,
we don't have someone fighting against
no
us.
one's speaking up.
Yeah, I always spoke up.
What was the process like when you resigned? What was like the energy, and were they kind of like sympathetic, or were they like you just said one of the guys probably clapped, but
people close to me were upset, like really really upset. Other people who were close to me were like, you know what, Mike, you're gonna fucking crush it. Good for you.
Yeah.
Right. Another one of my buddies resigned about 2 months before I did.
Same reason.
Yeah, same reason. He's just quiet about it.
Yeah.
Fucking great guy, great cop. Worked on a robbery unit. Like,
wow,
fucking a huge loss, right? But I heard coppers saying, "What a fucking idiot." I heard that, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, you know how often you hear officers say, "If I could leave, I'd leave."
Yeah.
If I could just get out of here, I'd be gone. Right?
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's
right?
It's horrible. It's the last thing you want to hear from.
It's terrible.
Like,
is that
right?
Is that the energy that's kind of going on there? Especially, I guess,
now,
through this.
100%.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. There's some people who they don't mind, man. They can just go to work, come home, paycheck, benefits, pension, whatever, right?
Day by day,
whatever. Yeah. But there's people who like literally love to arrest people and put bad guys in jail and fucking do a good job.
That's what they live for.
And work hard, right? I loved it. I fucking loved it, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, they met my line. At least they crossed the line for me. And but yeah, we still need fucking good cops. That Dave Haynes, good for you, man. Fucking keep fighting.
Yeah.
Like it must be awkward as fuck being the premier's son-in-law, I guess. But fucking right, man. Good for him.
No,
good
I respect
good
it.
for her. Good for him.
Balls
What's
of
going
steel.
on is so fucked.
Yeah.
But we do need people on the inside to fight. So
100%.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a chance they overturn this shit?
Fuck.
And
better.
if they did,
they better.
Would you go back?
No.
I'll
never go back. For me, I just feel it's such a level of betrayal for me. I think one of my posts or one of my videos, I said it. I can't fucking remember anymore. Like, I did a lot of crazy things, like dangerous, fucked up things.
Yeah.
Like I loved. So I worked in our canine unit. I had no problem. Me and my dog just going for a run in the forest, going after guys with guns and knives and whatever. Okay,
yeah.
I might get shot today.
That's fucking
putting your life on the line for a force.
Right.
Yeah.
And I worked in our surveillance unit. I've surveilled fucking every criminal you can think about.
That's
like
crazy.
Bad people.
Yeah.
And gone in really, really fucked up spots. Unarmed, no problem. I'll do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've done like really dangerous things. Never thought anything of it. Whatever, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about risk. The fuck? Right? So for me, the level of betrayal I feel from not really even like my department. It's more like what the government has done and asked of me.
Yeah.
And asking of society, right? Putting everybody against each other, vax versus vax. Yeah. The media, they fucking want everybody to hate each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know.
No, it's true.
Government's making calls and then expecting you guys to go enforce it.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Remember
the other one when they said
I don't know if this would happen in New York, but in Toronto, like I'm going to say late 2020, we were in a lockdown.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. And they wanted the Toronto police again. I don't know if York was there. They asked us of you guys, but they wanted them to just randomly stop people, like pull them over and be like, check their fucking vax passes, or just like why they were out.
Yeah, why are you out?
Where are you going? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that. I think it was probably CP24 or that live announcement.
Yeah, from press conference.
Doug Ford or whoever it was.
Dummy.
And I'm like, I remember as soon as it came out, I posted, not a fucking chance. Right? No.
That's crazy.
Are you insane?
Yeah.
Right? And then I was shocked. I was actually surprised that one by one, every department and even associations were like, no, that's insane. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. We had departments going against a public health order in 2020.
Yeah.
Right? Or was that 2020, right?
That was 2020. That was end of 2020.
Spring 21, was it?
No. Maybe.
I think it was spring 2021.
It might have been. You're right. It might have been.
So what I ask of them now is, so if the emergency at that point wasn't severe enough for us to literally arbitrarily and just break the charter of rights and stop people and say, hey, show me, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If the emergency wasn't that severe then, what are they relying on now?
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So if in 2021, when all the chiefs said, nope, not a chance, we're not doing that, stood up against public health orders, that was a public health order.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're giving you the power to stop anyone for any reason, to say, why are you out? Which is fucked.
Like, that's so insane.
So
man.
if the emergency isn't severe enough then, we're better off now, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what are you relying on now? Right? What crisis are we relying on now that we're doing this now? We're back to the fucking beginning 2 years later.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that's the question everyone's asking, is saying, we're all vaxxed, triple vaxxed, some people quadruple vaxxed. What emergency are we relying on now to implement all these rules that we continue, or our government continues to implement?
Yeah, there isn't an answer. There's no answer.
That's the problem.
I emailed our chief as I was leaving. I emailed our association. I never got an answer. I emailed our association in September last year with a bunch of data. I'm like, okay, this is what my wife's seeing. This is what the hospitals are saying, like their actual numbers, right? Because we were in the fourth wave, right? I think at that point, one or two hospitals in York region had 0 COVID patients, 0, no fucking hospital, right? I think maybe a couple had some in another, but it was like the hospitals were half full in terms of ICU numbers. So I'm like, hey, these are what the numbers I'm getting and seeing. Can you please bring to me what public health is giving you? Yeah. Show me.
Let's compare.
Show me. Mm-hmm. They didn't even fucking respond to my email.
Yeah. Well, are you surprised?
No, but so there's nothing. There is nothing. There isn't a thing that they can actually provide anyone. They just say, public health says. Cool. Yeah. That's great.
Well, they know how to lie with numbers. They know how to take the numbers that are super high and make you super scared of just bullshit, right? Of things that just don't matter, right? We started off with deaths, then it went cases, and then it went hospitalizations, then vaccine rates, and now we're back to cases again. And now I think only as of like Thursday, they finally started splitting up people in the hospital with COVID and people in the hospital due to COVID.
Which is like a scary new numbers that they're coming out with.
Jonathan Harvey put it out, and it was ridiculous. Like 60% of people were there just with COVID, not due to it.
And they knew that the whole time.
100%.
They all knew. My wife has seen the conversations between coworkers about, is this kid here because he has pneumonia? Has pneumonia, which is bad.
Horrible.
Right? It's scary for kids to have pneumonia, right? Mm-hmm. And then they test positive for COVID. And then there's a fight, an argument between people about why they're there. Wow. Listen, fucker, they're here. The kid's here because they have pneumonia. Right? So there's pneumonia, and I only know this because my wife's a nurse. I don't even fucking know what I'm talking about. So pneumonia, RSV, what's the other one? The flu. Those all kill kids more than COVID. That's a fact. Right? That's a fact. Right? So then you have a hospital that knows the shit's going on. They knew it. Like, they knew that people were there for, say, they're getting their tonsils out or whatever. The kid's there for day surgery. Right? Test positive for COVID case. No, fuck. Right? They knew this was going on. So now they're finally announcing it. They knew this the whole time.
100%.
People should be fucking mad.
I know.
Raging.
Right? Like,
raging.
Yeah.
100%.
It's and they should, like, what's going to happen to these people? Like, if I go on the stand and I lie at work or like in front of a judge, you go to jail.
100%.
Right?
Well,
you get fired.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Right? Yeah. They get carte blanche to just lie and lie and lie and lie.
Well, what always made me what always boggled my mind was that the people, like our health ministers, aren't even doctors. No. Like I saw Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan Harvey, buddy, for fucking putting out the real life info. Yep. Jean-Yves Duclos, whatever, the health minister of Canada, who was appointed 3 months ago. Let's just make that clear.
Yep.
He's an economist.
Yeah.
He has no medical background, not a doctor, not a fucking science degree in sight, nothing.
Yeah.
He went to school to fucking learn about the economy. And this guy is telling everybody, we know the way out of this.
When you say it out loud, it's fucking it's ridiculous, bro. It's bananas.
It sounds fucking bananas, and what blows my mind is that, like, this info's out there, right? And okay, sure, it's being censored to a certain extent, right?
I don't know if you guys want a shot, but I poured you one.
Thanks. But you hear that, like, instantly, as soon as you hear that, you should just say, all right, this is fucking ridiculous. This makes no sense. But people will hear that and go, Yeah, but it's the greater good. The fucking greater good.
Yeah.
What are you talking
even
about?
Bill Gates came out, I think, last week, and he starts talking again about COVID and this, that, and it's like, bro, you're a fucking entrepreneur,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's a doctor.
But the same people that say follow the science are listening to Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Right.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thanks for
Cheers
having
to
me.
you, bro.
Yeah. Thank you.
Woo.
I'll warm us up.
Oh, that'll fix everything up. I have a question. In your caption, you mentioned that the system is broken. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, just based on your experience for being there from that long?
Yeah. So what I meant by that was how I think society's lost. It's at the point now where I think society's lost its center. I think people are lost.
Yeah.
I think people are taught to hate each other. The media fucking just warps people's minds.
Yeah.
Right. I've screamed it forever. With Jen being a nurse and me being a cop, all we see is shitty stuff. The world is not what they portray, right? They just portray horse shit, and society has basically been built to hate each other, whatever it is, right? They love it. They love just being negative, and too much of society has bought into this one for me.
Yeah.
That. It got to the point where I should actually say this now without fucking tearing up, but I would hug my kids, go to work, not know if I'm coming home. I always accepted the fact that I may not come home, right?
That's crazy.
Which is fucked.
Which is
That's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
You're not okay with it. It's fucked because I've been to too many police funerals where it could happen.
100%.
Right. I remember telling Jen, I'm like, I can't leave anymore. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
It feels like, I would say it would make me laugh. Fuck, man, if something happens to me and I get fucking killed at work, I'm gonna be pissed. Right?
Oh, you're gonna be pissed, all right.
Pissed, right? But it's like, what am I dying for now?
Yeah.
Right.
Who am I doing this for?
And I don't want to say it's like I just, and not enough cops are gonna leave for the reasons I leave, and they shouldn't. But for me, that was it. I would hug my kids. I'm like, don't go, Mike. Don't go to work.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we got to get this shit back on the rails real quick, because like it's getting to the point where people are going to leave, right? Like my brother's a realtor. Mm-hmm. He's in Mexico.
Oh, living the dream.
He knows what to do.
He knows where he knows.
Like, I'm out. I'm getting a lease. I'm out.
Yeah.
Right? My dad lives in Jamaica half the year.
Wow.
Usually comes home. Right? Remarried. Right? He's in Jamaica.
Legend.
Right?
He's living the dream. All right, let's go.
Oh yeah. Why the fuck would you come back here?
No
For
shot.
what? For
Right?
what?
He's like, I'm not. No. Why would you come back?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
And
You can't blame them.
Right? The other really, really close friends, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're not even. They're gone.
Yeah.
South Carolina, Florida. Right? But we can be vocal and fight back. Try to be like bold, respectful. Let's try to get this shit back on the rails. But man,
You gotta be realistic too.
yeah. But how long do I fight back and try to earn a living here for my kids when we might be surrounded by a bunch of fucking people? I don't want my daughter marrying certain, like, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like
environment is everything, especially for the youth, especially.
Yeah. You know what's spiked? And hospital CEOs, man, I fucking hope that at some point they pay for what's going on. But so Jen's unit, she's a pediatric nurse, and the number's normally 2 beds for eating disorder kids or mental health kids.
Okay.
They were like peaking around 10.
Jesus
right?
Christ.
All the time. They were turning away kids. Because there was no beds for mental health issues for kids.
And that's the shit that fucks me up, man.
Yeah. So what are these managers? So you got managers and CEOs. They know the shit's going on.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
No.
Not this much.
You
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And at some point, I just hope that my dream is that people will start to document what they're seeing.
Yeah.
Right. Nurses out there, paramedics, whatever. Start documenting what you're seeing. Right. Write it down. Take pictures of the computer. Mm-hmm. Fuck this. Because if we're sending away kids who are sick, right, because of something like this, that doesn't affect kids. The risk is fucking zero. In my house, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
COVID does not exist.
Yeah.
Right. Our daughter got a social distancing award last year.
What?
Yeah, at school.
Like awards for that?
Social distancing award.
But this is.
I'm like, babe, you fuck. And Jen, right
How do
away,
you get that?
right to the teacher. No. And you know what? My kids' teachers are fucking great. They're incredible.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
The teachers union is its own little fucking disaster.
Bullshit.
Teachers,
Yeah.
a lot of them don't want any of this.
Yeah, they don't buy
right?
into it.
They might get a bad rap from this, but my kids' teachers are great.
Yeah.
Right. But in terms of that, like our kids are in so much trouble.
Well, that man, we always talk about this. Like, forget us because we've lived life before this, right? And as long as you have a half of a brain, you can figure out how to live life after this.
Yeah.
But man, like the kids, some of them born into this, some of them like in their peak
They're born on
years
Zoom,
of,
dude.
Peak years of learning and social interaction, they're the ones that are gonna suffer.
Yeah. Have you seen it like affect your kids at all?
My daughter.
Yeah.
Time.
Like social wise?
More like she probably has a little bit more anxiety than she should.
Like,
how old is she?
She's 6.
Wow,
so she hasn't had a full year of school, right?
Wow. Oh my god.
She hasn't had a full year of school, third year of school.
That's insane.
Right? And you know what's fucking crazy? This one fires me up. So I think in one of my posts I mentioned, so Jen and I had emergency daycare for our kids because we have to go to work.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Right? Which is a good problem.
Yeah.
Right? But we had to send our kids to emergency daycare. And our kids have never worn masks ever. They'll never wear a mask. They don't wear masks. It's not healthy.
Yeah,
of course.
So they're not wearing masks.
Yeah.
Right?
Straight up.
So the one they went to, I won't say their name because whatever. We tell them, our kids do not wear masks, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I show up to pick up my daughter. And I look through the window and I see her taking off a mask and the teacher, or not a teacher, the whatever she was,
attendant at
child
daycare.
care lady,
Yeah.
look at me like she's fucking
Saw ghosting.
right? So, and I've got Blake, my son, with me, and I'm like, don't kill anyone, right? You just keep her together. You can't start yelling at people, right? She's fucking probably out of her mind living in this horrible COVID world. She's not thinking straight either. But so now we're walking in the car. I'm like, Rye, why were you wearing a mask? She's like, Daddy, they told me that before I see you to put my mask away.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn, bro.
Wow.
I would have snapped. I would have lost my mind, dude.
I'm like, okay. No, so you're trying to not make a big deal about this craziness in front of your 6-year-old. At that point, maybe 5. And she's like, this is the first time she ever said anything about COVID. She goes, Daddy, I don't want to die of COVID.
Oh my God.
That's so fucked up.
You motherfuckers, we did a good job at shielding our kids from this.
Yeah.
And then now the day where she's told to put a mask on from a disease or a virus that does not affect kids without some serious health issues.
At all, literally.
Right?
Yeah.
Like my fucking wife's a peds nurse.
Yeah.
Whose head isn't up her ass.
Yeah.
Right? So we're not worried for our kids. We're fortunate enough to have 2 really healthy, beautiful kids.
Yeah.
Right? But what's happening now is ruining a lot of kids. Like my kids have a pool. They're spoiled.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of whatever.
Yeah.
Being stuck at home.
Yeah.
Right? There's kids that are stuck home with shitty dads who beat the shit out of their moms.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're alcoholics.
Yeah.
Probably worse alcoholics now. Right? Not every kid has this beautiful place to be stuck in.
Yeah.
Not in school. Right?
It's insanity.
It's like they're trying to pit the students now and the kids against their parents too. Like when Trudeau came out a couple days ago, and he's talking to the kids.
He's saying, tell your parents you want to get vaccinated.
Yeah. So did Dougie.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you, a 50-year-old man, are on the fucking TV talking to my child.
Yeah.
Talking to 5 to 12-year-olds.
Talking to 5 to 12 about a medical
procedure.
What do you, like, what clown world are we living in? This is like
a scary one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I think he's really pissed off the parents though. I've seen a lot of parents getting fucking pissed off now. A lot.
I don't know if it's enough.
It's not enough though. It's not enough. Still not enough.
The problem is, again, it comes down to, it's like, it would really take a really big coordinated effort of people to come and start fucking speaking up. But you're asking a lot of regular people. Yeah. Truthfully, you are
to
right?
do irregular things,
to do things that you weren't really. A lot of them weren't bred to do.
Yeah,
they're not built
and
for
trust it. that. So I was watching. That was a fucking great episode with Jonathan and Sergio.
Thank you.
To expect all these restaurants to do it all at once, you got to trust that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Would you? Like I didn't trust that all my brothers and sisters at work were going to say, "Fuck you, we're not doing this." We're out.
Yeah.
Right? There's not enough people that can do that. It's a different.
It's a ballsy move. It's a very gutsy move.
And Can you do it?
Can you afford to?
Well, again, you're looking at like they were saying in terms of the restaurants. You're looking at guys who feed their families from this shit. Yeah. So are they going to take that risk?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, is that going to bankrupt you, or are you trying to? I mean, fuck. What are we? Lockdown 5,
4,
5, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
keep track of all the worst shit.
Yeah.
But like, at some point, they're either going to go bankrupt anyways. But for everybody to be in the same situation at the same time, like every restaurant in the city to be at the breaking point at the exact same time where they can all just say, fuck, I'm going bankrupt anyways, let's go, let's do this.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Right?
Yeah.
And
the same thing with kids and their parents and the children, and then there's a social pressure, right? Like, I don't have a fucking kid, but I remember being a kid and all the parents talk to each other and you pick the kid up, whatever. Like the last place you want to put your kid in is like, oh, your mom or dad's the fucking anti-vaxxer. Like, bullying is huge in school. When we were kids, everyone got fucking bullied, this and that, whatever. The last place you want to put the situation you want to put your kid in is, oh, your parents fucking fucked up. They're anti-vaxxers, this, that, whatever,
it's
right?
It's crazy.
It's tough, man. Fuck,
it's crazy.
It's tough.
You see what's happening in Quebec and Montreal and what's going on there?
What are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you get, here's my question. How do you, based on that, what he's saying, how do you get police officers to enforce it to that extent? Like, there's like over here, we weren't even, our police forces, all of them weren't even down to stop people randomly. Yeah. These guys are driving down the streets, curfew, arresting people, fucking dogs, and like,
that's fucked. It's what I'm seeing out there, and I get a lot of messages from people in Quebec that are like shitting themselves, scared.
Of course.
I don't know. I've said it too many times. I can't see that happening here, but then it happens.
Yeah.
I fucking really hope, man, if coppers in Ontario are listening to me right now, do not fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. You can't at least demand for the crisis. Give me the fucking crisis.
Yeah.
What is it?
Show me it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I talked to a shit ton of uniform coppers, and they're like, Mike, you can roll a bowling ball down the hospital hallway, right? Where January 2020, you could barely walk through the hallway and emerge units because it was so full.
Yeah.
Right? They're empty now.
Yeah.
Right? What the fuck?
Why are people on curfew?
Yeah, curfew. Like, it's what I'm seeing in Quebec is disgusting. The shitty thing is I don't know any of those cops. I don't know what they're thinking. But then you see, there was a video yesterday popped out, the Toronto police one.
Costco?
The Costco one.
Oh my God, man. How many dudes? How many guys?
So here's my thing with that.
How many guys you need?
I barely wear a mask anywhere.
Yeah, same.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
It gives me a headache.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. I don't like it, so I don't wear one.
Yeah.
Right? Do I go into stores and someone asks me, and I can tell them like this is going to be a confrontation? I just leave.
Yeah.
Because I don't I'm in the middle on that where it's just like, this poor schmuck has the worst job in the world to be like the masks security guy.
Like sick.
Right? What a horrible job. Like,
it's the worst.
If you're a parent and you're 16-year-old, 17-year-old, whatever age they are, and their job is going to be that, no, man.
Yeah.
No. Go do construction.
Yeah.
Do something
else. Yeah.
Right? So like, you see the start of the video, and this is just where I know the media, they're motherfuckers, and people will start a video. Who knows what that guy was doing before that? Right? Those coppers showing up, they don't want to fucking be there.
Yeah.
It's all shit.
Yeah.
Right? It's tough, man.
Yeah. Like, how do you pick your battles, you know? Like, how do you really pick your, like, even that teacher, for example, when you went to go pick up your kid, and then you heard that, like, how do you decide not to confront?
My wife sent a very good email.
Okay, nice.
And we just pulled her out. She never went back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we'll fight for our kids and protect our kids as much as we can. But you got to pick your battles. You can't. The mask stuff or I remember going to calls where it was like this, pretty much like the heat of when no one really knew what was going on and people are having fucking house parties.
Yeah.
So you show up, you're like, guys, fuck, man, can you at least like be quiet?
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to be an asshole, but just be quiet.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a way of you guys, because you guys don't ever wear masks, right?
No.
Never.
Go into a store, whatever. If some poor asshole is like, hey, and you can just tell it's going to be bad, just leave.
I'll leave. Yeah.
Right.
I'll leave,
like you know what? Doesn't matter the store because I don't want to give them a bad name. But I walked in a couple of stores in the malls, and I'm not wearing one, and I feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and they're like, you have to leave because you're a danger to my employees. I'm like, okay.
No problem.
I leave.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't need to buy jeans today.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't, or whatever it is.
Or I'll shopping here.
Yeah. I don't. Just try to avoid, so that video at Costco, that guy without the mask who's fighting the coppers, he's not helping this whole situation, right? Because there's people there who are afraid of it. Now they think the anti-masker is a fucking lunatic.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? It just doesn't help things, right?
Yeah. In terms of, I know you were saying like getting calls when this shit started and going to these parties. I'm curious about like the mask. Like, did you ever have to go to a store or somewhere because someone wasn't wearing a mask and refused to leave?
I never did. But again, I escaped the road to a different unit. I think things now are way worse. People are so sensitive. I know at one point we weren't even fielding calls for that sort of shit. I never had to deal with any of those calls, but things now just seem way worse.
Yeah.
Right? Like things are way worse. So everything they've done has not worked.
Yeah.
Everyone's angry at each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's anxiety is fucking at 100. Everything's just so much worse. 2 years later, how are things worse?
Yeah.
Can you be this bad at your job?
Gone backwards,
right?
yeah.
Like if you're an accountant who kept care of all your money, invested for you, or whoever was this fucking bad at their job, they'd be fired.
Yeah.
2 years in, same idiots running the show.
Yeah.
So what's your wife's mindset now as well? Because I want to talk about what she's been going through and maybe what she's thinking about doing and what people around her in her field are saying.
It's almost the same.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of friends who are still working that got the shot bawling their eyes out.
Yeah.
Right. She's got friends who are working with the shot because you have to have it with the shot who also have COVID working in the hospitals. Right. And that's from her friends who are in.
So you can have the shot and like you can have COVID as long as you have the shot. You're good to come back to work.
Yeah, I guess. Right. I guess it's a different and that's what's crazy. Like another question: can someone it's safe and effective? Cool. Okay. Give me the study that says it's safe. Give me the study that says it's effective. There is no study that says it's effective because we're still here.
Yeah.
Right. When we have nurses working with COVID who have the shot. But my wife is not welcome at work, and she's a fucking good nurse.
Yeah,
she's really good. She can't work because she doesn't have the shot, but doesn't have COVID. So we're all worried about the spread.
It's not
allegedly,
about the spread.
Allegedly, the spread,
quote unquote. Yeah.
You have nurses working with the shot that have it,
and then this is where I start to say the common sense it's out the window.
People are afraid, man. It's
fear,
and it divides families.
Yeah.
Like,
sort
of fuck. This is outrageous. So my brother went up to visit my mom and her boyfriend and a bunch of other people. So there's 6 people in the cottage, and they all have the shots. My brother doesn't. They eat dinner in the kitchen. He's sent in the corner.
No.
The fuck? I swear to God.
No.
People are going to get mad at me and my family for telling this story, but I don't give a fuck.
That's crazy.
He tells me this story. I'm like, Steve, what did you do? He's like, the next morning they did it again. I had to leave.
Yeah, I would have left too. Yeah, fuck
and this is the best thing. We're doing it to protect you. Don't
do nothing for me. Hey, please, don't do nothing for me.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, that's wild.
To think that you need to protect me.
It's never happened before.
No. Look, but people say that. Like nice lady in Walmart. She's like, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" I'm like, I just don't want to do it anymore. It's insane, right? She's like, "Well," I'm like, "I'm not worried about it." She goes, "Well, I'm worried about you." I'm like, "Why are you worried about me?"
Yeah, you would have never in your life been worried about me, but now you are.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. You should have said I'm worried about you.
Yeah,
that's what you should have said back.
Well, this one actually,
yeah.
I
know, but like that's it's crazy,
wild.
man. It's
all about health.
Yeah.
Do you think people have this sort of entitlement now to tell people what to do because they see how it's being pushed and they want to be that kind of hero?
Yeah, well, you see that they're like, did my part, and people are taking videos of their kids getting vaxxed.
That's
and
brutal.
Hero. That's it's like
that fucks me up, man.
That's fucked, man.
When I see the fucking Instagram posts of like people I know, parents posting their fucking kid holding up the little fucking cardboard sign with the thing, it makes me sick to my
kids
stomach.
Like this big and they have a mask on.
Dude, it makes
like
me
just covering their head.
It makes me sick to my stomach because these kids are not at all, to not even the 0.1% at risk of anything.
No, when you go back to school and you start talking about decimal points, they're so far past the 99 that it's 100.
Yeah.
Right?
Now they're doing decimals of the 99. Yeah. Now it's like this of the 99.
We're inventing numbers now, right? But not to discount, like, so there are kids that, like, they are sick, they may have issues, and they get whatever.
Of course.
I'm not discounting that.
Of course.
But don't you fucking dare scare my kid, who is trying to just live a normal life, go to school,
trying to be a
play
kid.
Sports.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting the question, Daddy, why can't I play hockey? Well, your dad eats outside with the fucking raccoons because he can't go to a restaurant. You can't go play hockey because I can't drop you off.
Yeah.
Because you're 4.
Yeah.
Right?
That's so fucked up.
So
man.
We're getting close to that spot where people like me may just fucking leave.
Yeah.
Because like you fight as long as you can, you try to get people to see reason, and you know, and like I've only told so many people, or enough people, that the hospitals are empty. Jen can tell me the hospital is empty. Well, Mike, why would they do that? I don't know. It's fucking scary, actually.
Yeah.
But it's empty. Yeah. So at least question their lie. Wonder, at least they're lying to you.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't give you the big great reason why this is still happening. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Because it's so demented. But
well, then the problem is, and this is what we've been saying since the start, like since the beginning, is let's at least have the conversation.
Yep.
Right. Let's at least ask the questions. There's nothing wrong with asking the questions. Like I was telling you off mic, like myself and Ernesto, we've been talking about COVID online, like through our personal socials, like summer 2020, May, June 2020. I was only a few months in. And at that time, we weren't saying like, oh, this is bullshit. We were just saying, hey, this is kind of fishy.
Yeah.
Let's at least have the conversation about it.
So let's talk about it.
Let's just talk about it so that we can see all perspectives. And we were getting pretty much roasted for just being like, let's have a conversation. Yeah. When did having conversations become a bad thing?
They don't, when I say they, whoever's cool with this narrative or the ones pushing it in the media, whatever.
Yeah.
They don't want to have a conversation, right? Yeah. Case in point, my post goes fucking crazy. I get a phone call from a writer with, what was it? It was posted in the Star, shocker, and I think the New Market paper or whatever. Okay. But it ended up in the Star. So he phones me, and I'm like, oh hey. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna write an article on your post. I'm like, okay, cool. You want to let's meet and talk. Let's have a coffee. He goes, no, I don't want to talk. He goes, I'm writing it anyways.
What?
I'm like, what? I'm like, let's meet and have a conversation. He goes, no, I don't need to. I'm just gonna write it anyway. So whatever. I'm like, that's fucking really weird.
Sick chat, right?
So why'd you even call me, you fucking asshole?
Yeah. Like, so I'm like, and now I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna write about me. I might as well at least try to give him my perspective on the phone, right? So I gave him everything I've told you, right? Yeah. This is my experience. These are my views. This is why I think this way. Whatever. The article gets written, and it's all about, because of the fucking sunshine list. He posts my salary and then goes into the fact that each test is $40 because officers in New York have to pay for them now, which is equally fucked. The whole article is basically about, I left because of $40 tests.
And then they're comparing it to your salary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, good journalism, bro.
Journalism, yeah.
Isn't that defamation though? Like, can't we sue that shit?
I don't know.
I know. It's just such a headache.
Right? Like, it's just like, the whole thing about conversation. Yeah. I have to meet you. Let's talk. Yeah. No problem. I'll tell you. Let's have a conversation. No, I don't want to. Right? And I lit him up on text. I said, dude, I literally said none of that.
Yeah.
Right? He goes, I got in my notes here. I'm like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not even close. I'm like, buddy, I get it. You got to do your job. I don't agree with it. I think it's like, no wonder no one trusts you.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuckers.
But like,
but the thing is, man, I'm fucking tired. Like, here's the thing. I'm tired of saying, oh, they're just doing their job. Like, I'm tired of saying that, bro, because
you're right.
when you're fucking when you're putting our society in a fucking chokehold because you're just doing your job, like, no, now I'm upset. Now I'm tired of saying, you know what I mean?
I feel like now when they're saying I'm just doing my job, it means they're fucking up, and they're like, it's an excuse.
No. Like,
you're bang on. Like, but it's like
you know what I
cops
mean?
are just doing their job. So when do we pick? When can we pick, right? Like, this journalist, like, I can't stand the media, and I say that in a blanket term, people that lie every day on the news.
Yeah, every day.
Right? And you even see it on SportsCenter and Sportsnet and all this shit. You'll watch the hockey game,
and they're talking about it.
And they're flying down the ice, and you see the crowd, no one's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Right? the play's over, whistle goes, they zoom in on 2 people wearing masks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right? They only like it's like
they
no,
only
no,
show the people with the mask.
Everyone at the rink is not afraid of this.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Or they're wearing a mask because it's a rule or something.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all they do is talk about COVID.
Yeah.
Right? If an arena is full of people without masks, they only zoom in on people that are wearing masks to scare people.
Yeah.
Right? Or to think it's normal. It's not fucking normal anymore.
But then that goes back to, oh, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
No, man, because you are now a part of the fucking problem. So what? Like, you're not just doing your job. You're causing a fucking problem. Yeah. And like now we're living in a country that we never would have thought would be in this situation. Yeah. You're talking about potentially having to leave. You can't even bring your son to hockey. Like what the? Where are we living? This isn't. This, we're not in fucking communist fucking China, dude. This is Canada.
Are you sure?
We'll pick one.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. But
pick a fucked up country where you can't.
I want to ask you something. For anyone that might be, let's say, on the brink of all this bullshit, and maybe now they're getting super skeptical, and now they've had enough. What advice do you have for that person? Also, what kind of advice do you have for parents right now that are maybe hella worried for their kids?
Man, for the first part, if you're starting to question things, everything's right there. So if you go to every single hospital website, per se, they have the numbers right there. Yeah. It's not a secret. Yeah. They just don't talk about it or don't want people to actually look. Yes. Right? It shows everything, right? Even Ontario COVID.ca, whatever it is, it says everything. Yeah. Right? Like,
they're just assuming people don't go check.
People don't go check because it's so easy to spoon feed society horse shit. Yeah. Because people are so afraid now. When you got, I don't know, man. You just got to start looking. Just go on the actual websites, the hospital websites. I would actually, if you have like, say, a nurse or doctor or somebody saying things are horrible, ask why.
Yeah, challenge.
Be like, okay, what's going on in there, right? Because I guarantee you, there isn't a fucking single nurse anywhere that would sit down here with my wife and have a conversation. Yeah, they can't, right? There are thousands and thousands of frontline workers who have given up their careers because of their stance on this. Does that not ring any fucking bells for people? It's not like I'm like, I don't want a job anymore. I believe in something that's not true this much that I don't want to have a job. Yeah. No, right? So I haven't really seen any frontline workers screaming from the rooftop, rebutting what I'm saying, or what my wife's saying, or what you're saying. Yeah. Right? I think people just go to work and go home.
They did that protest right in front of the hospital in Toronto.
A few,
and then they got blasted for it.
Yeah,
they got wired for it.
They're blocking the
oh, fuck off. Well, like to your point, what you're saying, and I've been saying this for a while now. Like, when you look at, let's say, the doctors or nurses that are speaking out, compared to the doctors and nurses that are advocating for lockdowns, vaccines, whatever, one party has everything to lose, and one party doesn't. Yep. I trust the people who are willing to lose everything that they've built, studied for, trained for, over the people who are just, they say a couple sentences and they go back to their fucking job, get their paychecks every month. If these guys are willing to lose everything, let's at least listen. Yeah. Let's at least listen, right? But
100%. Yep. 100%.
But they fucking get silenced too. That's the thing. You put something on Insta, dude. You know how many times like my stories have been getting taken off?
Shadow banned.
Yeah. It's fucking.
Yeah. It happens. But in terms of the kids, man, like
the kids,
and that's maybe the biggest part where I've sort of lost. In terms of me going to work and maybe getting severely hurt or killed on the job, I thought that once we got to the kids, and once they were going to force masks on our kids or take them out of school every other month or take away their sports, which is completely wrong, I thought there'd be more pushback from parents. Yeah. That to me says a lot. Yeah. Where it's like, I always thought once they get to the kids, motherfuckers, we're going to band together. It's going to be great. Yeah. It's not happening. Yeah. Right? Like, man, like you don't have kids, either of you?
No.
Right? Yeah. Like once you have, it's just like,
I'm just pissed just for parents. Like I'm already mad for them, bro.
But like some parents are just, it just seems like, I don't know, I guys got to do it.
Is it just the easier option? Just fucking put the mask on, go to school, and
but like,
well, the problem is because and you can speak for, you're a parent. Like, dude, you got fucking a lot of shit on your plate. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta provide, make sure they're good. You have life to worry about. So it's like a lot of these parents, like, dude, some of them are working fucking 14, 18 hours a day to make sure that their kids can play sports and have the fucking video games so that they're not, you know, fucking less fortunate than their friends and they can fit in. Like, there's so many worries, dude. Like, how much they're just putting weight on these parents' shoulders. You know what I mean? And I feel fucking horrible for them. I feel horrible for them, but
I thought I'd see more fight back though.
Honestly.
Me too.
When you see, like, my daughter's first year of school was 3 years ago. Kids get to school, they're playing, they're laughing, they're having a fucking great time. You know, the recess before school starts, sort of thing, or whatever. Now you see kids that get out, they got their mask on, they're just fucking
depressing, bro.
Yeah.
They are not well.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
They're not well.
Yeah.
My wife's unit saw like a 500% spike just in that.
So fucked.
Right?
Wow.
Like, this is just fucking simple math.
Yeah.
Right? Kids are not doing well.
Yeah.
Right? You know, they're showing up to rinks in their equipment already.
Yeah.
Right? Like, kids are not at risk.
Yeah.
Right? And any fucking asshole medical person who says they are without a major comorbidity or what was it, whatever it is,
Yeah.
like, that's enough, man. Enough's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because Jen's been very vocal that kids are not at risk. There's been no nurse or doctor that's come at her saying you need to stop it. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they know.
If what she was saying, or anybody who gives a shit about our kids, right, would scream this and it was wrong and kids were at risk, they'd fucking probably be in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
100%.
People just got to start questioning stuff. Man.
Yeah. So you got a lot of exposure this past month, let's say. What's your plan with all the eyes on you now, this attention that you have? Do you plan to use it to continue to, I guess, make people aware of what's going on, maybe help people wake up from this, give people some courage to speak out on their own?
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Yeah.
I'll try my best as long as I can.
Yeah.
Until, I mean, they keep talking about this mandate to vaccinate your kids to go to school.
Yeah.
If that happens,
That's a wrap.
I can't.
Yeah.
I won't raise my kids in a spot like this.
Yeah.
No.
If it happens. But I'll never stop. I've never been able to stop. I had a couple amazing bosses that were. I remember I stood up. I think I stood up and said something on behalf of my platoon once, and my boss knew I gave a fuck. I didn't care about what I was saying. I knew I was trying to fight for something for somebody else. I could care less.
Yeah.
And I remember she did Rapson, Joan. She was the best boss. Joan, she says, Rapson, come to my office. So I come to her office and she's like, how'd that feel? I'm like, what? She goes, I know you don't care about that. But she goes, how did it feel that no one stood up behind you? I'm like, I don't know. You speak up and people don't, right?
Yeah.
But I'll do it as long as I can.
100%.
Like you guys, do it as long as you can. But like,
no, everyone's got a breaking point, man. And there's and this shit, and we know it too. Fuck, speaking out, like it also weighs on you. Like just going at it every day, trying to, make some type of change, spark some type of conversation, maybe spark some different type of thought in someone's brain. Like fuck, but it weighs heavy on you.
Yeah,
it weighs heavy on you, man. And there's only a point. Like,
yeah, it was weird when I sent that out and it went ridiculous. Like it was you, right? You text me and you're like, come on the pod. I'm like, this is fucked.
Yeah. You're just like, yo, honestly, man, too many eyes right now.
I honestly felt sick.
For sure, it was overwhelming,
I'm
bro.
like,
I can imagine. Yeah.
It's just like I've never that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You
didn't expect that. You didn't expect that shit.
Jeez, I think when I sent it out, I think Jen was putting the kids to bed. I was having a glass of wine. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. I think people need to know, right? My people, my people.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden, I think it was Theo Fleury, right? Ex-NHLer.
Yeah.
Right. He loves it. He shares it. And then Jonathan, like I know we talked, we met, right?
Yeah.
Him and his wifey there for dinner, and he shared it. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, let's get it.
Right? Like, fucking wake up
go.
the next morning.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, it's so fucked. Right?
Yeah.
You are now our podcaster, man.
No.
I have some topics and questions from the people in our Telegram group. Awesome community we have. They have a couple interesting questions. One of the topics that they wanted to ask was about the whole defunding the police situation that has been going on, let's say the last 2, 3 years, 4 years, maybe.
Bro,
what are your thoughts on defund the
Jesus
police?
Christ.
I want to know. I want to know your thoughts.
Oh fuck.
I think it's the
Now,
stupidest thing.
especially now, right?
Well,
You're not
it's
part of it, so it's
it's completely insane.
Yeah.
That's the other part of the divisiveness, right? It's the whole, all the shit that happened in the States.
Yeah.
Media loves it.
Yeah.
They love it. They want to divide police and the black community, and that's how it all started, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all horseshit.
Yeah.
Right. Like yeah, there's racism out there for sure. Of
course.
Right? There's pieces of shit who are racist.
Yeah.
Right? People think that we have all these cops in the force that do racist things.
Yeah.
They would get their fucking heads kicked in.
Yeah.
If that happened.
100%.
Right?
It's true.
I've said it before in a couple of posts. If I worked with a racist copper, I didn't know it. Right?
Yeah.
Because they'd get the shit kicked out of them.
Damn. I like
Right?
that though.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
They'd get the shit kicked out of them. Right? Like, I have some of my best friends who are coppers who are black guys.
Yeah.
You can't, like, it just doesn't happen. Like, if we think this little of the world and there's racism happening everywhere, what the fuck are people doing about it?
Yeah, it's true.
Right? If I saw something racist happen in front of me, I'd fucking say something.
Yeah.
And if people, they're like, no, and there is, but it's not what the media says.
Of course.
Right? Like, just like this. Everyone's sick, wear a mask.
Yeah.
Everyone's racist, let's defund the police. No, okay, time out.
Yeah.
Right? You get LeBron James saying a bunch of shit, right? Like, it's not the real world.
Yeah.
I've seen horrible places.
Yeah.
Right? It's not what they say.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the police and the black community, they fucking get along great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? There are times when things suck, but the whole, like, defund the police stuff, which all started with George Floyd.
That was with George Floyd, I believe, yeah.
Right, or the other one. There's been a few down in the States, right?
Yep.
It's just the media grabs it and then they try to paint everybody with this brush.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it allows them to implement even more security as well, right? When everyone's divided and everyone's sketching out.
They love when people are divided. And that's what I fucking hate about the media. I think they're complete scumbags.
Cocksuckers.
And in my post, that one part resonated with a lot of people. The world is beautiful. It is. Like, it fucking is.
Yeah.
Right? I got messages from convicts. Like, I got messages from every walk of life. People who've been in prison.
Yeah.
Single mothers, regular, like, professionals, whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks along the same page for the most part, right? But the whole defund the police gets pushed by a false narrative, complete false narrative.
So you don't even think that there's a need for anything, like any restructuring, training, or anything like that? Because they tried to mention all that kind of shit. You know, like, oh, they need to be trained and this and that.
Honestly, I don't see what some of these people are talking about.
Yeah.
And if I did, I'd say something.
Of course.
Right? Like, I've had conversations, uncomfortable ones with teachers, and they're like, I need to teach my students about racism. I'm like, okay, what do you know about it? Tell me your experience. What are you teaching them?
Yeah, what do you know? It's true.
Right? Because I'm telling you right now, like, what racist things have you seen? Right? Because if you've seen them, did you say something?
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So what are you doing? Like, what are your experiences with it? Because I haven't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been called a fucking piece of shit cop.
Yeah.
Right? You're a racist because you're a cop, or you're this because you're a cop.
Wow.
Right? Okay, cool. Whatever. You know what? You're just angry.
Yeah.
Right? For the
Watching
most
too much
part,
news.
for the most part, everyone gets along. They want everyone to think that they don't.
That nobody's getting along.
You go to Costco, you think people really give a shit who's vaxxed?
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
No shot.
No one cares, but they want you to.
100%. Well,
Right?
I mean, in terms of defund the police, look at fucking Portland, dude.
What's
where they
happening?
actually defunded the police.
Is that what they did there?
Bro,
Well, the city burnt down.
Dude, the whole city burned down. There's videos of people, like, every day just walk into a Walmart with a cart, take whatever they want, and just walk right out. I think I don't know if it was Walmart or Target has left Portland
Burnt right
completely.
down. Yeah.
No, they've
Really?
they've closed
They picked up and left
because they're
just getting robbed.
Bro, people can just walk in the store, take whatever they want, and walk out. Yeah, keep defunding the police.
It's sad.
And you know what's funny though? All these people that are yelling defund the police, who do they call when they're in trouble?
Oh, those people calling the
What?
police,
Who
bro.
are they calling? Their cousin?
Yeah. It's so demented.
But
Like, honestly, like, anybody that I would sit down with anybody. I was talking to people who were in prison.
Yeah.
I was talking to people that are like, you know what? I always had I had shitty dealings with the police, but you know what? I probably brought along it on myself. So if you have a conversation with someone and you just be like a regular person, be like, fuck, okay, well, what happened? I'm sorry you went through that. What happened?
Yeah.
Right? But I've dealt with really bad people who have guns and shit and kill people, and they said I was racist too. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you fucking kill people. Right? So I know that side of the story too, where it's like, you're doing this because I'm this. It's like, bro, I surveilled you and watched you break into a house. You're doing this because I'm this. Motherfucker, you just broke into a house.
Yeah.
Right?
Stole shit, killed someone.
Or I've actually been watching you for months now, and you kill people.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fucked, man.
Right? So in terms of the whole, like, it's such an uncomfortable conversation.
Of course.
And I don't really mind having it because the way I view the world, actually, it's getting shitty now because of COVID, but I don't view the world like some people do, but I also have different experiences. My experience is and at least in policing, if there was a fucking racist cop, right? Yeah. And that's what pushed it all, right?
Yeah.
Defund the police, George Floyd.
Yeah.
Those coppers would.
That's the thing. Yeah. I don't believe that cops would allow other cops to be racist in the force. Like, I just don't believe that. Yeah,
there'd be fights in the locker room.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm not a cop, so like, who am I to say anything? Honestly, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Not in my experience. Right?
100%. That's crazy.
Interesting question here. Are there policies implemented to protect those that are higher up in the force? And has there been any sort of funding implemented throughout the pandemic to help protect people's position in the force?
What do they mean?
I think that they mean higher ups and people of power in the force.
I don't know for funding and stuff. I wouldn't even know that, but I know firsthand from like someone high up that there's pressure to get the job.
To push that message.
Yeah, they didn't want it. They got it. They didn't want it. And that's high up, like really high up.
Damn.
Where does that mandate stem from? Sorry to cut you off there. Like,
no worries.
So they come to your force, they say, okay, we're mandating it. Who mandates it? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, is it the force itself? Is it like who's coming and laying this mandate on you guys? Like,
so for us, it was our chief.
Okay.
It's a chief's order, and it would be the same in Toronto. This is different. So Krista Ford's man, Dave, he's suspended without pay, right? Which is so fucked.
And that's just because he declined getting the vaccine. Okay.
Yeah. So that's an order from the chief. Everything comes from the chief. Like it's basically a directive from the chief.
Okay.
Right. Okay. But they just go, well, it's a public health request or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you at least show me? Like, I've offered to sit down with my chief. Yeah. After being gone, hey, I don't mind sitting down with you because like I really hope you're on the right side of history.
Yeah.
Because what's going on right now is wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Show me what they're giving to you to order officers to do this.
Yeah.
Right. What are you relying on?
Yeah.
I know there's nothing there.
Is it a fucking dinky email? Like, what is it?
Is it just their word? Because if it's that, then like you said, right side of history, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like when kids' bedtime, or you don't get this because I said so. Are we all my 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
You can't eat cheesies at fucking 10 in the morning because I said so. That's why. Right? But you're crippling society.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Don't say public health says this. Say
Show
why.
Me.
Show me. Yeah. Show me the evidence. When I go to court and I gotta give evidence and someone's gonna go to jail, you know how long I spend defending a decision I've made over the charter?
Yeah.
Like hours.
You have to, though.
Hours, yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
But now we're and I'm talking like little dinky charter things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've crippled society. People can't work. We've taken away their means to work. In Quebec, you can't even walk around.
Yeah.
Right? Tons of charter breaches.
Yeah.
Right? No problem.
But okay, how can we be allowed to breach the Charter of Rights? This is what I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't think anyone knows the answer to that question, bro. That's the problem.
None of this should be happening.
Yeah.
And right back to that point where all of our chiefs said, no, we're not doing that. We're not arbitrarily stopping cars. Yeah. Right? If you're going to do that, right? If you're to breach any section of the charter, you need to have there needs to be an objective as to why you're doing it. And it needs to be short. It can't last forever.
It's
and it can't be too intrusive either. So if I arrest someone for something, for drugs.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And they need to call their counsel, right? Okay. Like ASAP, you got to call a lawyer, right? But if there's still an issue with evidence and you can give a really, really good reason that if they have that phone call, we're losing all of our evidence because maybe they call someone else and they destroy it all.
Yeah.
You really have to explain why that person didn't get that phone call. And you have to prove that it all existed, and there's a lot of things.
It's a unique situation, super unique.
To breach someone's charter is huge.
It's the backbone of our fucking system of law here.
Yeah. Like prime example, I remember arresting this disgusting human being. He molested a child, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So it happened, right? We know that he's now at his son's house, right? Older guy. We arrest him. All of the clothing he was wearing is in the basement, right? So I seal off the house. They say, son, get out. I'm sealing the house. Yeah. I'm now, the evidence is there. Get out. I'm now totally kicking a guy out of his own house.
Yeah.
Because his dad's a rapist.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn.
I'm totally cool because if any evidence is destroyed, then
the case is gone. Yeah,
right.
Case
so
is gone,
just to preserve the evidence, everyone out, seal the house, get a search warrant, right, and then go into the house lawfully. But for a minute, I'm ripping someone out of their house.
Yeah,
which is insane.
100%.
Right. But this is why I did it.
But yes,
all good.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this now?
To everyone.
To everyone.
Show us the fucking evidence.
You can't work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still 2 years later.
Because you're not essential, and
2 years
they
later.
decide what's essential.
Yeah.
They decide.
2 years later, they go on the news again. It's a difficult decision.
Oh man.
We need to whatever Doug said again.
Yeah.
He's been saying
like
the same. There's a compilation video of him just talking over the last 2 years, and he's literally saying the same thing, man.
Yeah, but he's a fucking puppet, bro.
He's a
he
puppet.
has no say in anything. He walks up there, he looks soulless. You can tell he doesn't even believe what he's saying. He's just
whatever. He
took
the job, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tired of saying it's just him doing his fucking job.
Yeah.
Listen,
it's corrupt, bro.
Mike, we're the MBH podcast, bro. Money buys happiness, okay? We always ask the question. What do you think of the term money buys happiness?
Oh man, probably make your life easier. If I had a private jet right now,
I'm gone.
Right?
I'm gone.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, there's got to be truth to it.
Yeah.
Of course, fuck. Right? Especially now.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have money, you could lose everything.
Yeah.
Right? Everything. And that's the scariest part. So yeah, I think money definitely helps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think you still have the same stresses, right? Like, it definitely helps, especially now with how fucked up the world is.
Well, yeah, look, like I always say, like, I'm always like, man, none of these fucking celebrities are stepping up and saying anything. Yeah, sure.
They're on a yacht in fucking Monaco, bro. Like, what the fuck do they care?
Yeah.
Fucking
funny enough, though, I got someone from Hollywood text me because of my post.
Come on.
He's an actor.
Stop. That's crazy.
I've got country stars messaging me. And yeah, like, I think they're afraid. Like, they're afraid. They're starting to say stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Slowly, but
yeah, like if they say something, there goes some of their money.
There goes like half their audience or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Like
the sponsors or whatever.
Those
it might
country
be.
boys, though, eh? You can always count on the good old country boys to just fucking rile it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
last
amazing.
question.
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
question.
Okay. Hit him with it.
What the fuck are we gonna do, bro?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do about this?
Just keep talking.
Keep pushing.
I think you keep relying on facts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When like a shit ton of people, they message like, I'm not taking the booster. This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good for you. And then I don't think end the conversation there. Be like, why? Like, ask them why. Right.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that I know have had COVID, have both shots. Now it's the booster.
Yeah.
Right. You got what's the soccer player in Toronto? What's his name?
Alfonso Davies.
Yeah. Got myocarditis.
Best player
Right.
in Canada.
So I think stuff like that, like just rely on that where the news says last week he had COVID, but
they said it's due to COVID, and he literally just got
last week he had COVID, no symptoms, asymptomatic COVID, and then now he's got myocarditis because of COVID.
Yeah.
No, it's because of the fucking booster.
Of course. 100%.
Right. So
100%.
I would just and I really am worried for people. I just hope, man, if you see the sign of someone coming around, just keep talking.
Yeah.
And I'll keep talking until it's either fixed or I'm gone.
Yeah.
On a light note, you're getting into real estate, though.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. If I restarted everything, I'd be an agent. I'd be a
Me
real
too.
estate.
Yeah.
Unreal. And you can go anywhere you want, man.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope
Appreciate
to have
it.
you back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring your wife next time. Would love to have her on. I know you said she's a bit shy, but would love to have that chat.
We'll get her.
After she watches this, she'll be down. All right, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
No, thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
you coming out. Like you said, hopefully we'll have you back. Good luck with everything. And on that note, Dean,
We're out.